All right. All right, so we're going to play Nintendo. Actually, it's PlayStation. 47-year-olds aren't allowed to play PlayStation anymore. No, 50-year-olds aren't allowed to ride bicycles. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the little bitch midget's lies and spin about what he's doing with his latest arrest. So let me get some things set up here. I'm doing a pop-out chat. Hopefully get some moderators in here. Yeah, and this guy could already fuck right off. That didn't take long. See, they got weirdos, dude. For the last 72 hours, they have been attacking my page left and right with their threats and their bullshit. So what we're gonna do is, yeah, I guess that comment wasn't bad, but I know who you are there, Gardner Earth guy. Don't like you. That's the problem with these frauders. They know that I know who they all are. Hi, Jesse. I don't know why. Let's see if I gotta set all this stuff up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to the little bitch midget Daniel Salmon, who's feverishly trying to respin his arrest, even though we know that he's lying out of his teeth. We have requested the body cam footage. Apparently, because of the situation and because of the restraining order, they're being difficult about it, and it needs to be manicured, and it's going to cost a lot of fucking money. So I got the chat up on the screen. We're gonna steal a bicycle, or we're gonna summon our magic bicycle here. There it is. Ooh, I know that code so well. Oh yeah, that's the shed right there. That's the fictitious shed. Oh, we're gonna play Nintendo. Oh yeah, fuck Eric Brandt. Yes, absolutely. I don't know why I hid that. Yes, absolutely. Fuck Eric Brandt. So yeah, Zebra went on a diatribe today. We're gonna listen in. You guys, let me know if this is too loud, if it sucks. I'm dealing with a really shitty microphone from the PlayStation. So and then we're just gonna ride around. We're gonna listen in. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
I just had a
Can you hear this?
To say the least, had a fight at disagreement with my girlfriend. She even broke up with me. Right?
Can you hear this?
But I wasn't really concerned when the Hawthorne police came.
Hello, Tawny.
May have been,
I'm glad you're here.
They weren't nice at the start. I was pretty sure she would cool off. And even if I didn't get a chance to tell her, I
little low.
Regret
shit, that was what I was worried about.
Nice, but luckily for me, a few friends from the Hawthorne police, like Colin, I forget the other guys' names, but guys that I like very much. I used to call one of the guys my marriage counselor. And even had funny jokes on this day.
It might not work out. I might have to ditch this.
Arrested and taken away.
And his cutting is that's his shitty iPotato phone.
And I don't know why he thought that I wouldn't put it on the mistaken bacon blog. Isn't it obvious? I do every time they arrest me. Why would this be any different? Do I somehow not have reception inside Hawthorne? That is perfectly okay because I don't need it in there. I don't even need to be here. It just happens. By coincidence, I'm here to pick up some property. But I wanted to share some things with you. First of all, they've got the signs that say no entry, right, without a mask. But so I called to have, I can't remember his name, and that's a shame because I actually liked the guy. Lieutenant, I think it starts with the L. Can't remember his name at the moment. He mentioned he would have them try to get my stuff out. And so I was like, no, hurry, I don't mind waiting. when I asked to use the restroom, not because I have to pee or poop, but because I'm dirty. I spent 4 days in jail.
What side do you know I love you?
I've been out of jail. How are you guys?
I don't know if I can do that for every time, but you know, it counts. I'm not good at lives.
Huh? You got out, right?
Oh yeah, so
I guess I've been out for less than 24 hours.
Daniel's girlfriends and fangirls are all, well, you know, they saw he was live at the police station riding his bicycle around.
Very smooth going from here forward, like it should have been in the first place. I think they fucked up pretty good this time.
So
it's only a miracle. It's always dumb luck.
He's claiming
and all their lives come crumbling down. So
that he has a lawsuit against the Hawthorne PD because he beat up a woman.
He always seems to just fall out in the open by accident. I mean,
good luck with that.
Maybe I'm so irrelevant that they don't even take the time to do a proper cover-up. They're just like, oh well, you know, like maybe it's not important. Since there's not a consequence to them ever, no matter what, probably not that.
What's the consequence? 25, 30 fucking cops shooting him in the face?
Right, because they could probably just shoot me if they wanted to. So, but I appreciate you guys stopping by to say hi.
He's so famous in his 13 blocks.
Thank you, guys have a great day. I thought that was Eaglewood, but it's probably, look, who are we kidding? But obviously, there's people here that do that. Just like in every walk of life, only these guys, you know.
Yeah, I'm multitasking right now, so it's like I got chat going.
For free, too. Besides their, you know, $250,000 salary.
So Daniel beat up a woman. If you're new to this, right. Daniel beat up a woman, Jody Casillas.
Okay, but there's so many things to talk about.
Yeah, so many things, so many lies, so many ways to spin it.
Any of them, because
yeah, you shouldn't.
They still get to change their lives as many times as they want, and I still have one more court date. Just because shit fell apart last time, that doesn't mean nothing to them. They will come in with a brand new set of lies, or even arrest me anytime they want to.
So he battered a woman and then had his followers attack her and attack her channel.
You know, to prevail. What are the chances of that?
And ridicule her.
I was well on my way to the county jail, and they were trying to charge me with a crime that I had no idea had such stiff penalties. I was looking at 2, 4, or 6 years in the state prison, or
you're still looking at that,
or 12 months in the county jail. Of course, the judge is free to alter those sentences if he chooses, but those are the recommended ones. What are the chances they would alter those sentences for me? Especially when you take into consideration the videos I made about the judges.
Oh yeah, where you said you were going to hang the judge from a bridge.
When I get to the county jail,
the black judge from a bridge. Yeah, you're real smart,
exposed,
Daniel.
Right, for plenty of things.
Oh, sorry.
I've got more stuff on them by far than what I've shown anybody.
Really? He's got all this dirt on all these cops he's been promising. This is a guy that attacked nurses at the height of the pandemic in April of 2020.
These cops don't use AT&T? I don't want to act like a paranoid fool and think they have the...
Yeah, you're not paranoid at all, Daniel.
But when you ask to use the restroom, they say, no, because of COVID. The reason they don't let you use the restroom is because they have shitty customer service and they don't give a fuck about you. And you can pee or poop.
This ain't McDonald's, motherfucker.
That's why you can't use the restroom. Do you think they tell police or friends of theirs that they're not allowed to use the restroom? If they're worried about COVID, then why'd they lock me in a cage with, you know, if they're worried about COVID, maybe they should.
They locked you in a cage because you beat up a woman.
Use their bathroom? That's stupid.
Hello, Jennifer. Rebecca. Oh, I got all the ladies in here.
You guys coming and saying hi.
Hello, ladies.
So.
Yeah, one thing I can't stand is a woman beater.
There's so many interesting things about this arrest that I'll never be able to remember them all. They will come out. This is just
So the video might be a little boring. We're listening to this jackass give his excuses.
Initial thing, just me talking about it.
He shouldn't even be talking about it, considering he still has charges pending. I know his followers
just list a few things that are unique.
Slammed my page saying, "Ha, he got out. Are you mad?" No, I'm not mad. I knew he would get out.
One of the first things I noticed, even after they took my glasses, so
he's not off the hook though.
Or as far as reading goes, I noticed on a document it said James Solomon. That's my middle name and my last name, but it didn't say my first name.
Is this
So,
a job?
What's that about? Like, obviously that's not my name. Everybody here knows my name. They've already got my driver's license number on the paper. It seems like it'll be pretty
You
much
don't have a
automatic.
driver's
They'll fill them
license. This
automatically.
guy has
I've
extensive
never misspelled my
driving
name
without a
or
license
the names
charges.
entirely. But I mentioned it and assumed they corrected it. It wasn't until I was released.
God, this
and
dude,
told
just
that I
everything
was
that
over
he
on the
says is a
sheriff
goddamn
website
lie. I don't think that I could
that I
stomach this
realized,
whole
wait a
thing.
second, how come I was never in the system? That makes it harder for a bail bondsman.
I just thought it would be
locate
easier to
you,
do
or
it
for
live.
Friends or family, or for anybody. In fact,
And so you don't have to watch
if someone's
his
looking for me,
bullshit
they
and
wrote
give
my
him
name in.
views.
I don't appear. There's no reason to suspect I'm even in jail because they misspelled my name. Even
Is
after
that
I
why?
pointed it out the first time, then they spelled my last name incorrectly. That could be an honest mistake, but nothing else they did was honest.
Oh, really?
So at whatever point I wanted to speak to a sergeant or a watch commander, and they refused to give me
Okay,
any kind of
Karen.
assistance. So then I was going to settle, well, just tell me who it is, because I know the guys here are good enough. If you give me the name, that's fine. I don't even need to talk to them. If it's somebody I like, I'll see them soon enough. If it's somebody I know that doesn't like me, that's all the explanation I need. Of course, they're not.
Does this guy make any sense? Who? I mean, people think he is just gospel.
But this went on for too long that they refused to tell me who it was.
Yeah,
And
good
then
for
when I
you,
did
Jesse.
find out,
Don't watch their
everything
bullshit
made sense. It was
ever
Sergeant
on
Gabriel
any of
Lira.
them. Eventually, it will seep into the rounds of everybody else
He's responsible
calling these
for
frauditors out.
2012 unlawful arrests. of
He keeps
myself.
calling every arrest
He
unlawful.
participated and supervised in the 2013 arrest. And as of Saturday, he's been a watch commander for I have no idea how long.
He does love to
But
hear himself
It's
speak.
not hard to figure out. Every
Absolutely.
one of these ridiculous unlawful arrests
What's
and frame
upsetting is
jobs
that his
are
followers
costing
eat
the
this
city money.
up like it's gospel.
They're all by him.
So every arrest
And
is
the
by
worst part
one
about that
officer, he's saying.
Is I have a bunch of
Lies.
police reports at my house that show he doesn't just do this to me, he does it to people, it seems like every Friday night.
He doesn't have police
Especially
reports.
if it's a holiday weekend. He likes to arrest people on a Thursday night or early Friday morning of a holiday weekend where they can't go
Stop
to court
breaking the
until
law,
maybe Tuesday, so he gets extra days on
asshole.
these people. And remarkably, each of these instances where I have paperwork and read the
He's got
police reports and
paperwork,
stuff,
folks.
It's always people.
Yeah, I got paperwork too, and it says that you've never been represented by an
It's just
attorney.
someone
Is
that
this Kim Blandino
doesn't
part
like
2?
or somehow rubbed them the wrong way.
He has no
And he
attorney.
doesn't really pretend to hide it in his police reports. And if that wasn't bad enough, he keeps all their property as evidence afterwards. He puts 30-day holds on their vehicles, even though there's no reason for the arrest or for the stop. And the department says nothing to him. This is back when he was a sergeant. Now they've got him being a watch commander.
He needs meds, yes,
Less
Rebecca,
than a
definitely.
week ago, or about a week ago, I made a video.
Hello, John.
I seen Officer Bristow, who was present in one of those arrests, doing her job, but Gabriel Lear showed up and arrested me for no reason.
So Gabriel Lear is the arresting
And somebody said,
officer.
well, did she get demoted
So
or
he's
something
attacking
because of
him.
that? And I was like, of course not. It's not her fault that she has a sergeant that's a piece of shit. So,
Hey, of course, they never take responsibility for themselves.
Gabe Lear just framing because that's what he does, but
Oh, they're framing
it
you?
also seems pretty likely that he probably just a real sensitive guy. You say
Oh, the
something about him,
paranoia
and
and
he thinks he's
delusion
gotta
is
prove
stick
you right.
with this dude.
It's not hard to figure out why there's no consequences. I
Yeah,
guess to him,
domestic
it's
violence
worthless. He
is
sees me in that cell.
not
Of course, I try to
inexcusable.
pretend like I'm not suffering.
Even being accused of it
And
is
I'm not-
bad enough.
Sometimes I might be sleeping okay.
And she filed a restraining order the day he got OR'd. Okay, if it has to rise to that level,
Sometimes you get irritated and stressed out, and you want the fuck
It-
out, and then every
you
minute
don't-
it
you
seems like
fucked
an
up.
Eternity.
you fucked up,
And I try to
bicycle
not let
boy.
them see if I'm going through that, because I know that's the whole point, is they enjoy that. You know what else they enjoy? Making young ladies cry and beg for toilet paper. That's one of the things. I learned several things while I was in here for those 4 days watching. Many of the officers in the jail area are helpful and courteous.
Sorry for the helicopter. That's on his recording, not mine. Jesus. My God.
And to make a girl cry and beg for toilet paper and then say, well, it's not my fault you were driving in a stolen vehicle. That doesn't seem like...
He doesn't make much sense. I don't feel sorry for him, but
I think even...
I feel sorry for his followers that eat this shit up. Like he's telling the truth.
The sergeant I was just talking about. I think even he's a bigger person than that. I don't think.
No, Jesse, I recorded this and then.
For example, I've never had to beg for.
We're listening back to it because he's probably going to hide the stream. He shouldn't be talking at all with open charges against him, and the fact that he's talking about his victim online.
She insisted the car she was driving wasn't.
He had his followers go to her channels and start harassing her. And like, I've done videos on Jody because I think she's a loudmouth and I hate her. But I feel sorry for her because like, he had his followers go and harass her and tell her this was all her fault that Tom Zebra was in jail. Oh yes, it's always the woman's fault. That's what makes it even sicker than the actual charge of domestic violence.
He starts barking out orders, and if anyone's looking at him, he tells them, you know, they have to back up, go elsewhere. You can't even park across the street. If you park across the street, he'll say park somewhere else. Like he thinks he owns everything, and it doesn't matter what the law is.
This doesn't make any sense.
Bow down, because if not, he'll arrest you. And now he's got...
That cop is looking at my memes right there.
A whole group of guys that I had respect for.
He's on his phone looking at my memes.
He's got them doing dirty work for him.
No, he doesn't. He probably hasn't stopped drinking and snorting since he's gotten out. Oh, Laura Shark did this fucking really pathetic video of, oh, what a wonderful day of Tom Zebra getting out of jail for beating up women. Not for the first time, not for the second time, not for the third time. It's 4 times.
It's just stupid. Like,
that he's gotten a restraining order against him from women.
Why would they try to send somebody to prison for years, or even depending on that?
Yeah, he admits to it online because he's an idiot, Jesse. He's an idiot.
For something they know didn't happen.
And he's trying to spin doctor the story.
And every time they charge me with a crime, they've been proven to be liars. Even their attorneys have been proven to be liars. And so, like, how hard is it to pretend you're doing your job right, even if you're not? Why would you do that for a camera?
I don't know. Why do you record them?
I mean, I wouldn't. If it was me, you know. Like, which one of us is going to act like a thief and a con and a ripoff right in front of a camera and think nothing of it? There's only one profession in the world.
Thief and a con. You talking about yourself?
Right? And honestly, I don't dislike Gabe Lear, but it's starting to seem like he must.
I gotta give you a wrench, Jennifer.
Me.
Don't abuse the wrench.
Like, that's something that I wouldn't do to any person that I've ever known. If I could, I don't hate anybody, but if I had to try to.
He hates me. Oh, he hates me. Apparently, I'm getting a sex change.
I can't even think like that. I wouldn't put Gabe Lear at the.
I'm working on that video right now of all the terrible things he said about me.
But let's just pretend that he was the person I disliked the least. I wouldn't lock him in a fucking cage for 2 years just because
Emily!
He told the truth about me. If I didn't like the truth, maybe I would try to change the truth and improve myself.
Improve himself.
Doesn't that seem more reasonable?
Blah, 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 blah.
I think this could be the... let's see. Apparently I can't go in here without my phone.
That cop's looking at my memes online right there.
I don't see anybody. Someone's supposed to do that. That might be a stretch to think that they could come out here and actually bring the shit up.
I'd give everyone a wrench, but I don't want my chat to look like, you know, like their chats do. Like, you know, the same rules apply to...
They wouldn't return my glasses, right? So I can't see. There's a... and check this out. years back when I sued, one of the things that
he fucking
was supposed to be
hates me.
changed is there's supposed to be a sign that has a phone number that you call for bail deviation.
Apparently I'm saving up for a sex change, which is
afford the bill. Is there any way
hilarious.
you can lower it? They take a list of
My friends are like,
references, ask a bunch of
their
questions.
insults are
And I
weak
think
sauce,
many
like
times, unless you're
weak.
really on their shit list, or somehow you don't qualify, at least when I've used it, they come back and they say, okay, you could go. I mean, which is great, right? But
I'm having a hard time following him
in each of
myself.
those cases, there should have been no bail in the first place. They shouldn't have been holding me at all. But the fact that I can make a phone call and get released, I'm happy enough with that.
He made a phone call he probably shouldn't have made. He went public, and then Jody went public saying that he was arrested for domestic violence, and nobody would have ever known.
That the sign has to be on the wall, but somehow in the course of depositions in my case,
This is a real shit show,
my
folks.
attorney was Donald
He's
Cook was
really
there.
trying to
And
spin.
probably the police department was
beating
aware
up
as well.
women.
And that was one of the issues, is that they held me for all those days. They didn't have the sign in place, so I had no way to contact anyone to try to bail out, whatever it was. And according to Ty Getz, that's the only thing they did wrong. I would argue they did plenty of other things wrong, but
We're doing a
that's one of the things
GTA
they
audit.
admitted, at least. But
Oh, he plays video
the point is, I
games.
just spit in here.
That's their other little thing that they.
What's that? Okay, thank you.
So
I already
they,
brought this up.
so they
It's a
took his
challenge.
phone,
I'm glad, EV2 viewers
and he's
still trying
complaining because the battery on his
to
phone
wait
was
for me.
dead when he got it
wasn't
back.
easy to restore that time.
Probably because they checked out
I've got my backpack.
all of
I just
the
need to
bullshit
find
he
this
has on
one.
his phone. Probably all the porn too.
This one up. I mean, I guess I could write them both back, but that means I'll have
Bama
to
Green
say
Eyes,
goodbye
welcome.
No, I guess maybe that makes more sense than leaving one here. So, I'll try to finish what I was saying.
Yeah,
Talking
he's
about the
hasn't finished any word, any coherent thought, any coherent thought at all. Daniel, just get it out there, put it out.
the
Any
information
coherent.
that has to be painted inside from any of the cells where anyone will be locked up. And there has to be a phone available, and they have to have 3 free. Well, I don't know if they have to have 3 free calls, but that's what they give, and they're supposed to, provide these certain little minimal things. They're probably supposed to provide toilet paper, water. some food,
Stop
right?
breaking the law,
Basic necessities.
asshole.
And,
And stop beating up
Let me-
women.
It's not luxurious. It's like, I'm sure, supposedly solitary confinement will make you go crazy in about 15 days, even though the United States has people locked in solitary confinement for decades at a time.
I bet Eric
pretty
Branson's
sure
solitary confinement
I would go
often.
fucking crazy in less than a week.
You are crazy.
I mean, being locked in a fucking cage with no way to get out or to contact or to talk to anybody, it fucking does something to you. Like every minute just takes fucking eternity. It's like, it's very difficult to cope with, and if you haven't dealt with it, I don't know, maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. And if you've gotten accustomed to it, I think that means that you're already fucked in the head, because that means they've
Yeah, that's why I stopped
If
breaking the
you've
law
gotten used to that.
20 years ago, 23
It
years
shouldn't be
ago.
okay for you to be locked in a fucking cage for
Because
years
being
and
in jail
then
is
think
no
nothing of it.
fun. It's not supposed to be fun. He was like,
I mean, you
the
wouldn't do that
food
to
was
an
so
animal.
good. Yeah, it's
But
probably
it's
the
perfectly
best
fine for
meal
innocent
you've had in years.
So yes, so they put the sign, but they won't give you, like, people
Exactly,
that have
Church, you
glasses, they
piece
won't
of
get your
shit.
glasses for you. And another thing is,
Okay, it's
everybody
getting loud.
has a cellular phone, right? Remember a long time ago, if you're old like me, before we had cell phones, you didn't have
Yeah, he's gonna cry,
a call
solitude.
log or a contact list. Everybody's phone number that you talked to and regularly called, you knew every single number by heart, even if that's 20 or 30 people. You knew all those numbers by heart if you called people.
Oh, so the only number you knew was Laura Shark.
Well,
Okay.
nowadays, that's not how
And
it
you
works.
told her to go
Now
live.
we don't even remember one person's phone number. I don't know his phone number by heart. I couldn't think of anybody. No, not even somebody. Even if it was just, I can remember my old home number when I was a kid. This is the lieutenant I was talking about that I like right here. Not complaining about him one bit. But
I hope Eric's in the hole. Can you imagine being locked up with him?
He's
Oh my
retired.
God.
He probably still hates me. I'm going to say hi to him anyways. I don't have no
I have
Anger,
no
nothing.
toilet
Too long, you're responsible,
paper.
different guy. No, it's,
I have flooded
Oh, yeah.
my cell
I see you're still
again.
angry at me. Yeah, is that crazy? It could be 10 years and these motherfuckers still hate my guts. Even after a friendly greeting, he like hates me. Is that shocking?
Yeah, so a cop walked by him and
Hi,
he...
Lieutenant, how are you? Man, you guys held grudges for a long time, some of you guys. I don't know, we disagreed one time.
Delete laws. You mean
I
beta
just said,
male?
No, not you, but a different guy, but, you know, I just tried to say hi and he still hates my guts.
Oh, you know Eric
I'm
Brandt
sure of
flooded
that.
his cell.
You know, so am I even,
He did.
You know, but you have a wonderful day, Lieutenant. Good to see you. Yeah, I've got everything. Thank you.
Yeah, he never shuts up, but he never makes a point. He never makes one coherent thought. That's why I just want to give up doing this. Because
of course, the Lieutenant says a nice
listening
thing,
to him is just
the problem I had.
a brain
When I
fart.
was sitting in court, he was walking around the courtroom telling everybody, all
Oh.
this guy does is criticize police and try to sue police departments and blah, 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 blah. Saying the stuff right in front of me. That doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
Yeah, you also harass nurses at the height of a
Maybe that's
pandemic.
not
You
all I do.
also
Maybe there's
harass
other things I do,
firefighters, you piece of
And maybe he's
shit.
just upset about that particular thing. And, so I ended up cussing him out.
All right, it's beer time. We got to go get a beer, guys, because, you know,
I'm going no talking like that in the courtroom.
Somebody
I'm like, yeah,
donated
I'm talking like what he was
$2,
doing
so-
either. Shut the fuck up. And we have no issues here. You're not going to sit here and criticize me to everyone in the room and
I'm criticizing you right now, little bitch.
Especially the judges in the room. Fuck off.
Yeah, do that. Tell the judges to
And
fuck off.
apparently he has not forgot that.
Hey, tell them that
I
you
chased
want
him down a
to
couple times on
execute
the
them,
street,
like
and then
Eric
that was it.
Brandt.
I think he retired right about that exact time. But I have no hard feelings, and if he would have just said hello, I wouldn't have even told you that story.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
say he's the one that started it. And if that weren't bad enough, there's still shitbags here arresting innocent people, me being one of them. So
You're not innocent.
If I were him,
You beat a woman up again.
issues, I would have just said hello.
Sorry if I'm
You
getting
never
loud.
feel like you
Let me
never
know
met me,
that's
just said
that.
hi.
I'll get excited, God damn it, when I
guess
do
that's not how it
these.
works. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, he got $2. It's time to go get a beer. Time to go get a beer, even though he won't get that $2 for
So let's see,
another
what else
month.
can I say about what happened in here before I put this phone down? So they basically tried to
Some night train,
misspelling my
yeah,
name,
or some Steel
make it to
Reserve.
where nobody could find out that I was here. When people
Oh, there it is, liquor
were able
store,
to get through
right there.
anyways and figure out where I was at, they wouldn't tell them what my charges were.
Oh, wouldn't you just love to see Zebra get fucking hit by a car?
They
No, I actually
intentionally overcharged
wouldn't.
me
I wouldn't.
With a,
I don't like the
felony
guy,
that
but I don't want to see him get hit by a
would have
car.
had me going to prison for years in an attempt to prevent me from getting out. But as it turns out, they were doing much more than that. They were literally trying to send me to
Maybe
prison for years.
Maybe I should pawn my bicycle first,
I still don't understand
so I can afford a beer.
exactly what happened where shit fell apart. I mean, it should be, many times it's been a conflict of interest when I'm suing them. They try to take a case into court. They know that they're going to say, you're not allowed to arrest him. He's got a federal fucking lawsuit against you. And they pretend like, oh, that's right, we didn't know that.
Daniel has won
How
one
many times
lawsuit.
Can you say they didn't know that? They know it every time. But they still make me sit in jail for a holiday weekend and then pretend like they didn't know on Tuesday.
Well, stop breaking the law then, asshole.
Because what's the difference to them? They don't care.
Dude, he's got a lengthy criminal record. You can look it up.
No. Oh, our mistake.
And I love how they were like, oh, the charges are dropped. And I was like, looked online. I was like, no, they're not.
The way my case was, when after when I finally did get to go, they had me on a floor where it was like nobody else was on the floor. They had me in a huge holding area. I've been in it many years ago, and it was like stacked full. Maybe that's because of COVID. Maybe they're not arresting so many people. But it's weird that I sat in a huge empty room all by myself.
It's funny how now he's still bringing up COVID. COVID is over, especially in California. I mean, it's not over, but it's pretty much over. All right, oops, I said the C word. Yes, shed. Absolutely. Those that live in glass sheds should not throw phones in the toilet.
I'm not allowed to contact certain people. I'd appreciate it if you don't comment on that. Definitely,
See?
definitely
There it is, folks.
nobody's fault but the police and the prosecutors, but that's a whole other thing.
It's their fault. It's not his.
I've got a history with them abusing restraining orders. They told people, look, this is what you do. We don't, just forge the proof
females have put them on you.
About it. Well, until it's no longer temporary. Once it's final, then you just bait him to come over here, and we're gonna wait. And when he gets here, we're gonna
bait him.
Arrest him for a restraining order that he had no idea about.
I'm so in his
That's
head.
Not much different than
oh
these
my
other
god.
Ones where
I'm so in his
they
fucking head. He can't even think straight.
What is most likely
rent fucking free.
Into saying things that are not true, and then they protect that
these
lies by telling more lies, saying that you're a dangerous person and they need a restraining order. That way, you're not allowed to see. Normally, you're allowed to question your witnesses, but when they lie about you and pretend like you're a danger and a threat and trying to kill everybody in the neighborhood, now they have special protection, so you're not allowed to talk to the witness, so you can't get to the bottom. I mean, I've gotten to the bottom of anything.
What?
I know what's up. But
sorry.
Everybody, every time.
Let me adjust this again, my little microphone.
It's convenient for them, for the truth to not come out.
Oh my god, he's so spinning this, right?
I'll probably get arrested and violated for making this video.
I hope you do.
And this is my bet. I bet this shit is going to fall through on them, and they're going to get their fucking asses sued wide open in a much bigger way than I've ever done.
He's so into busting open asses. It's a little sus.
Will still arrest me if he wants to.
He got no money.
Any other innocent person that he wants to.
You're not innocent. You've had 3 different women file restraining orders on you.
At this point, there's no denying that this is what he does. This is what he's been doing for at least a decade and probably 2 decades. And the department has never done a single thing to discourage him from framing innocent people.
Oh my God.
And with that in mind, why would anyone trust that he ever arrested a guilty person? There's no reason. Or anybody that works here. Why would any of us
just going around in circles
doing something right ever when they intentionally do shit wrong?
I need to gas up my bicycle.
Why when a judge sees
$75
just crumbled into a pile of lies to the point where the case is
he just tells on himself, solid dude. He just tells like
vanish into thin air.
His followers are too dumb to even notice this shit.
That were stated.
That's what irritates me.
Restraining order were valid.
And if you go in their chats, they just delete you or hide you.
A prosecutor lying, trying to intimidate someone to say things, and because of that, that person speaks out and says, "No, that's not true. That's not what's happening. You guys are fucking lying. I know this person. That's not at all what's going on." When your case crumbles in front of you for that reason, why would they still want to pretend like anything that restraining order is valid against a 50-year-old man that has no criminal record? That has a record of these police lying about every fucking time they've ever tried to arrest me.
He just said that has no criminal record.
But we're still going to give the police credibility and pretend like I'm the bad guy.
You are the bad guy. You are the bad guy. You beat up women.
And here's the tough part. These are the good guys. Hawthorne Police right here. These are the good ones. As far as I know, these ones aren't murdering people.
Huh?
At least not often. And I'd like to say that they're not doing it. I haven't seen it. I can't recall anything recent.
Okay, bootlicker.
They're not beating people nearly to death that I know of. I'm not catching them doing that. It's always stupid shit. Like arresting a guy for no fucking reason.
No fucking reason, huh? There was obviously enough probable cause to book you into the jail on felony domestic violence.
Talk.
Which means there was visible injury or trauma.
In front of me, I wasn't in the room. When it happened, but it did happen. I heard.
And she filed a restraining order.
And when my public defender came and introduced me, he said, "Hi, my name is
meth or coke, probably both.
This case is not going to trial. You're going home." And look, if it didn't fall apart just by accident, I wasn't coming home. At the best case scenario, I would have been trying a serious case from the county jail.
You're still trying it. Quit lying.
So why? What have I done that is so awful?
You beat up women.
Some of these police think that they need to take away
You
my
threatened to
life,
kill
even though I did
25, 30
something
cops
wrong.
on your live stream. What you've done? You broke into my
Is someone
home
making
in
up
Las
that,
Vegas
accusation? Who are they making it about?
for your charger so you can beg for donos. I need to find a liquor store because they're all
I didn't get to see what
closed.
it was, because depending on what it was, I would have loved to defend.
Oh yeah, everybody that says anything negative is always me in the chat. And I promise you, I have not even tried under any fake or any alts to comment since 2018 in any of his chats.
Okay.
I promise you that.
My concern is, I'm not allowed, like I said, I'm not allowed to, I think I'm not even allowed to talk about certain people, but
you're not. That's what it's called, a restraining order.
Anything like with me and my friends like that, it would be about myself, the way I communicated. I'm not mad about any other person. And to be honest, the way things have worked out, I feel like this shit just kind of, I'm hopeful that the shit blew up in their faces so bad, and that when the truth comes out, there hopefully will no longer be a restraining order, and all this shit will be talked about openly, and that's how the truth is going to come out, and that's what I feel.
You know, this
I couldn't have planned it better, you know. Of
He
course,
couldn't
they're
have
still
planned it better?
because in their eyes, they still need to send me to prison to just make up new lies.
You just made, oh
Believe it
my
or not,
God.
they're legally allowed to do that. Every time their lies don't work, they're legally allowed to make up a new set of lies. And just because they didn't bring those things up at the beginning of the case doesn't mean they were true or that they're not true. They're allowed to bring up allegations anytime they choose. But it would make the most sense if these things are true, that you wouldn't bring them up 5 years after the fact with the help of lawyers in the middle of depositions, right? You would tend to bring those things up when they happened. But that's not how
it's just blah, blah, blah. This is...
I do care about what? I care about
it hurts my brain.
What did I say I don't care about?
I appreciate you guys being here.
Did I say I don't care? Of course I care about everything. Of course Ricky had my back. Everybody had my back.
Ricky Penzone had your back? He was...
the goddamn police. Liberty,
yeah, so,
thank you very much.
yes, Jesse.
I know it,
I apparently have billions of accounts on YouTube.
Look, my concern was, look, I know you guys.
I don't even try to comment. I don't even try.
But I also knew it shouldn't require.
As soon as you ask a question criticizing him, they just hide you. They don't even fuck around.
They don't ask.
It's not even worth trying to troll them.
I probably shouldn't be talking about the allegation. Didn't meet the definition of the crimes they were trying to say.
He said again, I shouldn't even be talking about
At
it.
the time, I didn't necessarily know that because I've never looked up that charge. I had no idea how serious the penalty was or what the qualifications were to meet that threshold.
He's talking in past tense as if it's over with.
That I didn't feel like I had done it, so I felt like that was enough. They, on the other hand, know exactly what it takes to meet that threshold, and they manipulate shit and make lies to make it into something it wasn't. Now, let me ask you this. The two of us at that time were not having a good day, obviously. We were having disagreement. We both said things we didn't mean, right? So, but we still managed to calm down and go our separate ways. We're like both smart enough to realize it doesn't need to escalate anymore. We need to separate, right? What kind of people come when you're having trouble and they come and make up a bunch of fucking lies and even try to, I guess I give myself too much credit. I would think that they would never be like, oh, they're trying to blame this on you, so maybe you sure you don't want to defend yourself? They're putting it on you because I would never fucking fall for some shit like that. I know they're gonna say that, and I know they're putting it on me.
Did you hear what he just said clearly? Wow.
But I don't know that it's a stressful situation if someone is saying that about you, like they're trying to say it was your fault. And especially if it wasn't your fault, you're going to be pretty quick to be like, it was not my fault. Like, and then you might say something about the other person. So, as obvious as that seems to me, I think it's a natural reaction when someone's saying that when you're not at fault and someone's trying to say, oh, it is your fault, that's what they said. It's natural to be like, they're the ones that, whatever it was. And then from there, it's not hard to exaggerate or.
Did you hear what he said?
Things to try to
He
make
basically,
it to be.
like,
But unfortunately,
said too much. He basically did.
And no, I didn't plead the fifth. Every time I've been in this station, I've never once pleaded the fifth. And every time I know that I'm making a huge gamble. My attorney has always given me permission to do it. I would always ask him, and he'd always say,
he doesn't have an attorney.
Don't damage or alter the video. Otherwise, Daniel, go ahead and say what you want to say. I think because he probably realized I don't have the ability to not talk. And it was what I wanted to do, and it never mattered because I was always fucking innocent. But at the same time,
he does get away with a lot.
I always know that
he does get away with a lot.
This time could be different. Maybe this time they're going to delete it or not let me have it. But that's a big part of it. I'm taking a gamble because once I speak, then they can say I said anything they want.
He doesn't have a, well, yeah, public defender.
Went.
Public pretender.
There was, of course, reading me the rights and whatnot. Then there's an allegation. He's coming out with this allegation that somebody's arm was pulled. And I was like,
here he goes.
Are you kidding me? Is that what this is about? Is that why I've been in here these days?
That's a lie.
And that's what you're suggesting is that I pulled somebody's arm. Well, I'm glad we got that out in the open. I'm sure as fucking I'm not going to admit to it, but
you just did.
More importantly, isn't this about the fact that Gabe there is working right now? Doesn't this have nothing to do with me or anybody?
Yeah, it's the officer's fault that he beat that woman.
Haven't we been in this fucking room before? Hasn't it always resulted
never their
in
fault.
Me being exonerated and winning a lawsuit, and you always looking like fucking
He
crap?
ain't gonna win a lawsuit.
I didn't use those words. My life is on the line. I'm not being that cocky. I even before it was finished, I even said no disrespect, but if you think I'm going to be in here agreeing that I did something wrong, that's probably not going to happen.
Well, that's how it works, moron.
Or if you think you're going to try to say, oh, well, maybe you're going to try to say something to make me say, oh, well, maybe I did something only because it was in self-defense. No, I'm not defending myself. And I don't care.
Yes, Bama, Green Eyes.
If this person said they hit me or if they didn't. Because you're a fucking liar, and it doesn't matter what you say. But I can tell you one thing. If they did throw something at me, if they did hit me with something, it's because I like it. I appreciate it, and I have no problem with it. So,
oh, my God.
Don't think you can say some stupid shit like that, and I'd be like, oh, but, that's why I did what you're claiming I did, because fuck you, I'm not admitting to that shit. You guys are full of it. But even if I admitted to that allegation, it still wouldn't be.
He did. He totally admitted
it. What you fucking liars are trying to send me to prison for. It wouldn't add up to that.
Okay.
And let me just try to clarify this.
Let me try to clarify.
I've
been
2 weeks
going for 44 minutes, and I haven't made one coherent thought.
Okay, maybe it was more than that.
But now he's going to.
There was a shooting right in front of the apartment. Somehow I was by an open window and I didn't even hear it. I think I had headphones on. But I heard the sirens, and so I went outside. And the usual group of police were there. And they were like, back up, I noticed a crime scene. I'm like, what crime scene? I don't see crime. And they're like, the casings are right there. And there were casings, so there was a shooting. As it turned out, a couple.
So you kicked over the casings and.
Ambulance. And as the police were socializing for a half hour, 40 minutes, I was like, hey guys, we got cameras next door. You want me to check with the manager? Because maybe we caught the suspect, since it happened right here in front of the building. Since he shot allegedly into that garage, if he either ran that way or came from that way, there's a good chance we'll have him on the video. You want me to go get that? See if I can get that for you? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, Daniel, whatever, Daniel, yeah. See if you can do that for us. Do you think I'm going to get a video for them?
We got 27 minutes left, but I'm not gonna bore you with.
No, I'm not going to get the video. I'm just making a point.
Oh, we're gonna get the body cams.
My building. The police are too lazy to walk 10 yards and go check to see if a video has a picture of the subject or not, the suspect.
I don't even know, like, he expects everybody to keep up with all his bullshit, and I do, and I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Should we check the video cameras for the building? So they're not going to check video cameras on two people.
This is just paranoid, delusional.
But they're willing to check those same cameras.
Meth.
And even conduct an investigation if it means they could frame me and send me to prison.
Oh, hey, Tanya.
Why wouldn't they be more interested in arresting a guy who shot two people?
Want to get beat up, Tanya?
Than framing me for something that didn't happen.
Let's go get some tacos.
Don't lose track of what I'm saying. These are the good ones, though.
Huh? Is any of this make... Oh, my God.
That I don't know if I finished. Did I finish telling you? The thing about we don't remember phone numbers. And the point I was trying to make, I think I got distracted by the older gentleman that still hates my guts. So we don't remember numbers anymore. The first thing they do is they take our phone on our property, they lock everything in property. And now you need a way to tell somebody, but you don't know their phone number. You have no way to get it. So now you're between a rock and a hard spot, right?
This sign triggers soft sits and frauditors.
And so they're smart enough to not send the detective or the arresting officers who just sort of, cuss you out, who you don't trust, who you feel like just violated your rights. They send another guy, right? A nice guy. One who I happen to like and even trust. He's like, I could go over there. He's like, I can't take it out of the plastic bag, but I could turn it on inside the plastic bag and get you the number.
What is he on about now? What the fuck?
It's not important.
It's like
that's how I have to get my number.
Radical, like, do the brainy bits.
How much of a boner they might have for searching my phone, all they're gonna find is innocent texts about me busting their asses wide open. So that's not really a secret.
Again, with the busting the asses wide open. I don't have to
lie and steal and cheat to get a look at it. I'm gonna publish it regardless. But for everybody else in there who might not want to have them dig into their phone, for them to make any phone call to anybody.
I know, Jennifer, he's bizarre. He really is bizarre.
To their phone and trust somebody is going to just look at it.
Now he's mad about his phone.
Back to get the information they want and then turn it off. Now,
they probably got all your porn off of it too.
I mean, it was early in the morning. My phone was fully charged. I don't know, once it's turned off, does it last 4 days? It should. It's not being used, right? I'd have to test that, but for sure it was dead when I got it back.
He's only gotten one donation so far,
honestly,
folks.
I don't care. For me to get my password means that I'm accepting the fact they're going to go through it. And what was more important to me than trying to keep it secret was I was worried about a friend of mine who not only just had an argument and she started her morning, but also I was, I out of anger said things that I didn't mean, and if that wasn't bad enough.
Oh, there he goes. Tell on yourself.
Still don't know how. I imagine that whatever they did only made things worse. So when I was sitting in jail, I was imagining her at home. Already she would have been upset, but now I'm in jail, and plenty of other things that entered the situation where she's probably feeling like shit.
Yeah, because you beat her up.
So, unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to,
That's what a restraining order means.
Say I love you, I'm sorry, or anything. Because they were, no sooner than I was in here, they're like, oh, we got this for you. We got this. It's a temporary emergency restraining order. And, of course, that's what you need when you're accused of pulling somebody's arm, right? That's fucking emergency.
Again with the arm, you're lying. Visible injury or trauma. They don't just hand out felony domestic violence charges.
But On the other hand, I've known people trying to get a temporary emergency restraining order, and they act like it's $100 bonds or gold bars are given out. They're not giving you that shit. Sorry, you have to go to the court. We're not going to make it easy for you and just let you do it right here. That would be helpful. Unless it could be punitive and malicious, then they're offering them like toothpicks on the way out of a cheap diner.
Huh? Toothpicks out of a cheap diner. My brain hurts. My brain.
Even though supposedly their case fell apart, they're still
Case
trying
didn't
to
fall
hang on
apart.
to them.
Listen, he just lied in the same sentence.
I'm not allowed to talk to people that I love and care about, and I will. I'll follow the rules because I don't want to go back to jail.
So you learning?
But this fucking story's coming out. Everything they said, they could delete their videos or whatever. They could make up new lies.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, this story's coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the body cams of this.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit to see him whip around the corner and arrest me and say I did something that violates some kind of terms, because God knows, according to them, I'm not allowed to tell the truth when it consists of their actions.
That's what it is. Just like Eric Brandt went to prison for free speech, right? He's going to go on now for about 20 minutes talking about Eric Brandt, and I don't really want to bore you with that.
Every single one of the things they did wrong to
If
me
you would still want to watch and listen, like, put a 1 in the chat.
They've been sued over previously, and even the same actors partially gave lyric. So, like, there's nothing that they did this time that they haven't lost the lawsuit over me previously. Only this time they were trying to sue me.
He's only won one
the risks
lawsuit.
for me were much greater this time. If they succeeded this time, it would.
And his lawyer won't go anywhere near him because of his library of fuck
life,
ups.
as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I guess I could come back in a year or whenever the time frame is and try to pick up the pieces, but I'm not interested in that. If I have to be locked in a cage for a year or 2 years or 4 years, I'd rather be fucking dead.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that can be
supposedly
arranged.
some people argue for, because they don't want to get the death sentence, and that never really makes sense to me. If I had the choice between life in prison or a death sentence, or even 10 years in prison or a death sentence,
I don't
if you
even
could
want
give
to
me the
get
death
into
sentence
that
today and I
guy.
don't have to do any time in prison, I'll take that. Fuck being locked in a cage for any amount of time. And that brings me to my last topic, Eric Brandt.
Oh, here it is, folks. Eric Brandt. You want to hear this? Anybody want to hear this? Anybody? Yes, he's such a victim.
I'm getting
Emily.
away from here, but I had to come and get my
He has
property.
not one coherent thought about Eric Brandt, too.
Do a live stream, but when they told me that I couldn't use the bathroom because of COVID, but I could come in without a mask, I just thought, that's not COVID, that's shitty customer service.
This
You
ain't
guys aren't
McDonald's.
going to the bathroom because you don't like me, but I'm sure anybody that you like is more than welcome to use it.
Oh my God.
And fuck them. It's whose bathroom is it? Like, we pay their salary, and
Here it is.
Their job is to just arrest people they don't like, but don't let anyone else use the fucking bathroom.
So just like Team Skeptic said,
That's just
so you could just take the
They would
police
rather
car
us
because
go
it
out here
belongs to you?
Pissing or shitting in a bush where it's against the law.
Stumped old beta boy, didn't he?
So Ricky's live stream on the topic of my arrest, he had already figured out a lot of things that I didn't know about until after I got out. Maybe that's probably where I learned it, but I didn't realize, like, I did know they had misspelled my name in a couple of different ways at different times, but I didn't really think shit about it until I realized that nobody could look me up and figure out where I was at, and then it made sense.
Yeah, I couldn't find
Because
it.
I think once you got my license number in there, I'm pretty sure
You
the rest
don't have a
of it was
license. Quit.
You know what I'm saying? For them to
He
misspell
keeps
my name,
telling his followers that
you
he
have to do that manually. I'm pretty
chooses to ride a
I
bike.
could be wrong, but that's what I think.
Your license has
They
been
never misspelled
suspended
my
since
address.
2013.
Usually they don't even ask me for my address. It's like, it's just already in there, from I don't know what. Even if it's updated from my driver's license.
So they all know who he
My
is,
license,
but they
sometimes
don't know
I
who
have
he
a
is.
PO box, meaning
Anybody following along?
Doesn't
Anybody at
matter
all?
what I had. Anytime I went to jail, they would already have the address that I didn't want them to have. They would always have it. So eventually, I just realized, okay, fuck it. This is where I'm at. Anyways, all you gotta do is look behind you. I'm right there anyways.
Look behind you, yeah. They should pat you down for weapons when you're right behind them, since you threatened to put hot lead in their faces.
I have to probably call my public defender. He
There
did
it
a
is.
miraculous job, but I don't think it was him that did it.
He did a miraculous
I think it was,
job. You
kitty
still
cat
have
video.
charges pending. Oh my God, the spin
Fucking smashed their
doctrine.
case right in front of their eyes before I was, invited into the room.
Does his shit have an address?
But I would like to hear about it. And who better from than the defender who explained to me that I was going home but didn't give me any ideas why that might be.
You make no goddamn
Also, I need to try to
sense.
explain to them. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is not the first time they did this to me. They've done
can't
this to me
even
like 20
get
times. I've won
any-
a bunch of lawsuits. So if you don't
He
mind...
won a bunch of. He won one lawsuit.
I want all the incriminating shit.
He acts like he's a millionaire.
You know, all the things that you were shocked she said. Can you turn that stuff over to me too? I'd like to, maybe you could put in some notes for me. Guess what? They take offense to that, even though one's a prosecutor and other's a defense attorney. When you start asking about the criminal information that the person next to him just did, they start getting uptight and they're like, I'm not going to give you that. Why not? Why wouldn't you? If you're my defender, you saw what they were just doing. That was malicious, unethical, dishonest. I mean, great. So it set me free. But
Hello,
how
Keith
about we
Newton.
write it down on a piece of paper so other people could be aware of it? Doesn't that sound like a good idea? That way other people can know about this piece of shit. Actually, two pieces of shit, prosecutors. All they could come up with was
He's talking about you,
lies
church of piece of shit.
and trying to tell a person, look, he's really dangerous. He has guns. You're lucky you're even probably alive. You never know what could have happened. This is a dangerous, violent man we're talking about. Really? Guess what?
That came up in court? They
The
must have
person
seen
that
my
they were saying
videos.
that to
Then.
apparently was like, oh, really? That's funny. Because I'm pretty sure I could kick his ass myself.
You
And
can't kick nobody's ass.
He doesn't have guns, and no, he's not dangerous. And
You
what
admitted
guys
you
are
have
trying to
guns.
do to him right now is not fair.
Shithead.
I'm not even trying to take sides here, but you can see this from a mile away. What you guys are doing is not only dishonest, it's not fair. That's
Well, then
the rumor
stop
I heard.
beating up
And that's
women.
not word for word. I don't know exactly. I don't know. But it sure sounds good to me, and it makes sense why the
Maybe
PD
POS
and
stands for
say
something
you're going
else.
home and when you come back, this you're not going to be charged with anything. Of course, Hawthorne Police, I'm sure they disagree with that. I'm sure they're on the phone right now saying that I just violated something and I need to be taken into custody because it's against the rules to tell the truth about these fucking lying pieces of shit that work here.
Are you fighting for
And I
our
have more
rights?
friends here than I guarantee. Actually, any of these assholes are, you're a cop hater. No, I'll say it. I love plenty of the guys that I've known
He's
for
so
years and years. It
delusional,
doesn't matter if they
Jesse,
hate me.
Jennifer. He's so delusional.
I care about people.
He
But
cares
it's hard
about
to not
people,
point out
okay.
the truth when people try to
You care
fucking
about the
ruin your
women
life
you
just because they're,
beat up?
I don't know what. Why would you do that? That's the question of the day. Why
He's
would
such
you
a
do that to
nice
someone?
guy, everybody. He feeds
When you could just
homeless
change your behavior
people
and not be a
and
piece of
films
shit.
it on
Why would you instead
YouTube.
try to ruin up someone's life for telling the truth about something?
Daniel, you don't tell the truth about a goddamn thing, and we've caught you in several lies in this conversation
I can't
alone.
report the public defender. Motherfucker saved my ass. Plenty of public defenders wouldn't have been swayed by that. They wouldn't have told me shit about it, and I still would have been going to county jail.
Oh man, when do you open?
He came in, best I
Open.
could tell, proud of himself because he just saved an innocent
Ma-
client. And when I came into the room, that's my opinion.
He
my
cares
take on
about no
things
one, yes.
is the judge and the two prosecutors were sitting there biting their lips, pissed off because something didn't go how they were told, how they were expected to make sure that it went. And I've already said,
What bothers me is his
my
people
opinion, and
think
what I
he's a
understand
god.
The reason their shit crumbled. The public defender didn't have to pick up the pieces and
Use your
and send me
wordy
home.
bits.
He could have picked up the pieces and sent me to jail. I know plenty of them that would have done that and been happy.
He's terrible. He's so terrible. No, Ragical's the only other.
So
Radical and
they're gonna have to
Scriptcat are the only people that have tackled this
explain to
guy.
him the reason why these things took
We
place.
need a new Glenn
And
Serio.
obviously, it's because the people you work with are pieces of shit, but it's more than that. Because they do this to me every other year. Sometimes they go 5 or 6 years, but they always do it again. And the reason why is because I exercise a First Amendment constitutionally protected activity.
There it is, folks.
I say things that they don't like.
It's time to gas up my bike again. Yeah,
And
that GOP complex
I think
is
that they take
a...
great pleasure in me doing that because the only consequence is ever for me. It's never for them. So why would they not take pleasure in me saying these things that only fuck up my life, and they still get their same scheduled
I don't know,
pay
maybe
raise every
stop
year, their pension,
beating
everything
up
else. It never
women.
affects their life. They get to take great pleasure in locking me in a cage and watching me on their TV monitors.
Oh my God, the victim mentality. Jesus, dude, Jesus. I'm not even religious, but Jesus.
Thank you. I see a super chat. I appreciate that. The subject was supposed to be Eric Brandt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's so many things to talk about that I can never keep track of them or do any of them justice. For part of the time in jail, I was thinking about how Eric Brandt got 12 years
We got 11 minutes more, folks.
for speaking up.
Here it is.
You know, for people that the judges and the police and the community wanted to just shit on. Like they're not allowed to get on a bus without shoes. Even if
Oh
they
my
don't have
God.
shoes. Even if it's freezing and snow on the ground. That means they're going to have to walk and they get
No
frostbitten.
shirt, no
Frostbitten,
shoes, no
toes have to come off,
dice.
Because there's a rule at the bus that says you're not allowed without shoes. It's not about the shoes. They don't care about the shoes. They're trying to say people
So
that are
Eric's
poor
fighting
or
for people to be barefoot on the
less
bus?
fortunate, you know, homeless. That
Yes,
so
I
down
know.
out,
I
they don't
have a
shoes. They don't
shitty
want that kind of
habit.
people
I'm
coming on
glad
their
that
bus.
came through
So
in the
go out and
audio.
get
I
your
was trying
fucking
not to.
frostbitten.
I love Script Cat. It's so informative. Which is nice. It's different.
So nobody else would stick up for these people, right? Who else would? If Eric Brandt wasn't going to do it, who was going to do it? Not me, not you. I'm
Eric
not gonna walk
Brandt,
around in
sticking up for
snow
your right to be barefoot on a
6 months,
bus.
Getting my feet frostbitten and getting arrested trying to get on a bus just to prove a point. That's a job very few of us are willing to do.
Tweakers got to stick together. Eric Brandt is so obviously
Brandt did it
tweaked
and
out.
was happy to do it, and he changed the laws repeatedly. Which probably whichever one he had in his sights, he changed it. And each time probably he had to go to jail for a long
Yeah,
time.
here we go.
Far more than
Philip
I've
Turner,
ever
Eric
experienced.
Brandt.
And he was happy to do that because at the conclusion, he was released, he was victorious, and the law was changed, and the rights were restored to the people who might otherwise have had their fucking feet chopped off. Or have their tents stolen on a night that is snowing out. The police will come and take their tents and their blankets and say, sorry, it's illegal to camp, and leave them sitting on the ground in the snow with nothing to keep warm. In other words,
So Eric's fighting for tents,
exposing them
barefoot,
to freezing to death.
and the execution of judges.
Obviously, we can't expect, I wish I could remember, it was Morris Hoffman. We can't expect Morris Hoffman to come off his high horse and come help somebody. Or even to say, hey, these laws aren't just.
Oh, yeah.
It's not fair to send these guys in.
Morris
give them tickets
Hoffman.
After we stole their
The last name,
their
Hoffman.
homes. You can't steal someone's home and then give them a ticket in exchange.
That's why they don't
actually,
like him.
Yes, you can, because Morris Hoffman's fine with that. And in fact, the day before he sends
Zebra has a
Eric
hard-on
Brandt
for
12 years
Hoffman
for
because
doing
of the
what he didn't
name
have the courage to do.
Hoffman. Do I need to explain that to anybody? The name Hoffman?
But Eric Brandt gets 12
Pretty
years
obvious.
for having the courage that the rest of us don't have.
Huh? Is that why he's in prison for
And despite
12
all the
years?
shit he was going through that they
Maybe
were putting
more.
him through, he made catchy little positive jingles and sang happy songs.
Oh yeah, by the way, happy fuck Eric Brandt Day.
Where anyone else of us, would have been throwing in the towel or having nothing but hatred. It's not easy to stay positive when the police constantly locking you in a cage for being in the right. And ultimately, I don't want to say the ultimate sacrifice, he's alive, but fuck.
Look at this guy talking about
Obviously, I'm not
liars.
the right person to give him a pep talk because I don't have. It just makes me sad. Like I struggled to go through 4 days in a cage 12 fucking years
He struggled with 4 days in a cage.
for doing what's right.
Doing what's right, beating women?
If nothing else, he proved the statements he made that got him sent to
Wow.
prison.
Wow. Wow.
They said threats to a judge. There weren't threats. There were.
Yeah, I love Artie too. He's a good guy, but
have a consequence. I mean,
he got the brunt of Ricky Pinzone's rage.
The point I want to make about that is, he said something about that right after. I believe it was right after he, made that, and it caught some network attention. People were like making him out, oh, he's a bad guy, like he's advocating.
Network attention? You mean when he said that he condoned the execution of judges on live television?
He was advocating for. He said he was trying to shock the conscious, which I thought made sense on its face.
Shock the conscious?
Yeah, that's shocking when you say that. So people will be like, oh, that's shocking. How awful. Get their
Free
attention.
speech has consequences.
But for whatever reason, I looked that up in the dictionary. Shock the conscious. It's actually a legal term.
Yes,
words,
Rebecca,
Eric
totally.
knew what the fuck he was doing when he did it.
He's been on about this for like 4
And I'll probably
years.
get it wrong because even though I had to look it up to understand it, I probably still won't get it right, and I'm sure Eric could tell you. It's like when you do something it's supposed to be so shocking, the authorities, the lawmakers, the judges, they have no choice but to look into
Yes,
these
Bruce, coughing.
allegations,
Happy
whatever they
fuck
might. They can
Eric
no longer
Brandt Day.
ignore the situation
Every day is
because
happy fuck
whatever
Eric
it was,
Brandt
it
Day.
shocked the conscious. So their
Shock the
solution,
conscious.
rather than fixing the things Eric was upset about, was to say, oh, he made threats. We'll just send him to prison for 12 years.
Probably longer than 12, because you
Because
know
he
he's
shocked the
flooding
conscious.
cells, you know he's
It
banging
didn't
on
say in the dictionary
doors.
if you shock the conscious, that
Oh,
means
can you imagine?
get upset and
Can
go to
you
prison.
imagine
It
what
said that
being in a
there was no
cell block
fucking
with
choice
Eric
but to do
Brandt
their
would be like?
jobs. Because something is so shocking that it shocks
Or
the conscious. Now it's
Tom
gonna be
Zebra.
forced to do their jobs,
Or
look
Ricky
into the
Pinzone.
situation and make changes that they might have otherwise ignored. So Eric made perfect fucking sense. If you watch Morris Hoffman on the stand, he's just a dishonest piece of crap. And if you
You mean that he's Jewish? Is that what you're trying to
if you watch that
say?
interview,
Dance around
he
that
goes on to tell
issue,
somebody
you
that
white
he has this hidden door
supremacist.
in his courtroom, and when he sends people through this hidden door, they disappeared and they're never seen again. He chuckled after he said that. He said, and I don't. This is probably not.
This
the same
dude is
sentence, but
infatuated
definitely in the
with
same
Eric
interview.
Brandt.
He's like, it's really quite interesting to see. He thinks this is all very interesting. He also discusses how there's not enough cases, or there's not enough time in the day for the cases in Colorado there. So the job is so stressful for these Colorado judges because they literally are forced to handle. I don't remember the number. I'm just going to guess. I think it was over
4 minutes
Could have
left.
been even far more than that. But whatever number he's saying, none of you
I appreciate
can
you guys.
understand how unbelievably stressful it is being in our position of having to deal with all these cases. You don't even have a time to understand what's happening. You just have, be like a processing machine.
Look at all these ladies in my chat. I love you all.
To keep up with it. How stressful is that? He doesn't understand the stress of even one fucking of those people that he sentences. Not as he not only doesn't understand what their situation is or the misery or pain he's inflicting, but he doesn't care. He thinks it's stressful having to.
I don't think
sentence
getting
100
high would make
people
this any more sensible.
to consequences when he didn't take the time to understand even what was in front of him.
Oh,
So
my
sure
God.
I've said more than my share for
It's
now.
never their fault. Ever, ever,
Brandt.
ever. Just deflect, deflect, deflect.
It's terrible injustice. He's a political prisoner, and the judge who sentenced him even said, "Oh, not everybody wanted to do this job." And I was like, "Oh, hey, I retired tomorrow. This is perfect. I'll handle it." And then he acted like he cared about Eric and appreciated his military service, and then gave him
Eric was in the military?
for his thoughts and prayers.
Citation
I
needed.
can't stress that enough. It doesn't matter if you don't like Eric's style.
I don't.
If you were a cop, you certainly wouldn't like it. He yells.
I don't like your style
in a very loud
either.
voice, and he shouts at you and tells you what you need to hear, and you can't ignore it.
Is that
Guess
what it is?
That's exactly what we need in this fucking world.
Yeah. We need
It's not
more
enough
of these
to have,
pieces of shit, really.
the people that we have out here doing this. Eric Brandt would come in very handy right now. I would love to have him in my neighborhood. If Colorado doesn't...
Hopefully you'll be in his neighborhood soon.
I would love to have him over here.
Or, sorry, his cell block soon.
I have some problems in my neighborhood.
You guys can jerk each other off. Talk about how many views you once had.
Let's even we start off with a fresh slate. I'm not going to say nothing about these guys. Let's just treat them like they're the most honest professional people ever, unless they prove otherwise.
2
Eric would have
minutes.
his work cut out for him, and everybody around here would appreciate it.
Get a job, you loser. One day he's gonna snap.
I appreciate you guys listening to me. I haven't said enough about Eric. I need to.
Oh, you've said plenty.
I try to talk to him regularly. I'm sure that we could learn things from him, but
Name and badge number.
it's unfortunate.
You're dismissed.
The government in Colorado couldn't
Kick
learn
rocks.
anything from him, especially after he changed all their laws and
Is that what you tell the
showed them
judge?
the way that all they could ever do is retaliate. And I guess maybe that's the way it is everywhere. Just maybe not as obvious as what they did to him. And the truth is, they're
Yeah, do the walk of
murdering
shame.
people probably for less, and we just don't always get the
You
truth. story.
tyrant. You tyrant doing your job, tyrant. You
All right, my hands are
security
excited
guard.
riding
You.
two bikes, so I appreciate you guys joining me.
Top flight security, Craig. Top flight security, Craig.
Send love to all my friends.
Yes.
No, I guess
Sending
that was
hate your
correct
way.
for me, but it's richly deserved.
Yeah,
and
you work
it's
for me.
unfair for
You work for me.
anybody to try to say that I can't send love to
Top
somebody
flight
who
security,
I care about
Craig.
and deserves about.
Top flight
who
security,
deserves it.
Craig.
And
Paul Blart. Paul Blart.
not only they try to cheat me, they try to cheat other people. So if you guys could try to send love where I wish I could, please do that for me.
Give me Mari.
Well, that's it, folks.
Okay, I gotta grab my other bike. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, he's riding home with 2 bikes.
Tell me why I'm waiting.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. That was mind-numbingly exhausting. I didn't want to edit that. I was like, you know what? Let's just do it live and ride some bicycles. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. I'm sorry if the audio was horrendous. I'm sure it was. His audio was horrendous. Yeah, so Ricky filed his 8th false copyright strike. They sent him the counter notification. I want to play one more thing for you here. And this is
Lucinda, what's up, homegirl?
a weak-ass
Come over anytime after
This is a
7.
weak-ass
This homebrew will keep you
message that I
relaxed.
got.
I promise.
Let's see, I gotta find it. Here we go. It's on my phone. And I gotten quite a few really threatening phone calls. This happened Monday. So let's see if you can't hear that. If you can hear this. Oh.
Are you getting ready for the rave on Friday to get your glow sticks out and shove them up your butt? Hey, are you gonna go with that sex change? Huh, Caitlin Crooks? Hey, Caitlin Crooks, you're doing the sex change? You big homo? Hey, Caitlin Crooks, how are you, man? You play Nintendo? Do you shove the joysticks up your butt? Caitlin Crooks, call me back.
So this guy's name is Rip Ryder. And he's probably going to go to jail for
Are you still
threatening and
playing
harassing.
Nintendo? Are you playing Nintendo at your mom's house? Dude, you playing Nintendo? Are you getting ready for the rave on Friday to get your glow sticks out and shove them up your butt? Hey, are you gonna go with that sex change? Huh, Caitlin Crooks? Hey, Caitlin Crooks, you doing the sex change? You big homo? Hey, Caitlin Crooks, How are you, man? You play Nintendo? Do you shove the joysticks up your butt? Caitlin Crooks. Call me. Call me back.
Yeah, no, it was unknown. They were smart enough to do that. But there were several other text messages, several other really threatening fucking emails that I got, comments on my page. I must have deleted yesterday probably at least 100 like threatening calls. They posted my address. They posted my phone number everywhere. I went to Metro today and I filed a police report, and I don't know if anything could be done. They were like, yeah, it's definitely a crime, but you have to do some investigation. But I just love how they think. That's actually the funniest thing, that I'm going to have a sex change. If you saw the way I look, you would be like, what? I'm like the butchest guy ever. I make a very ugly woman. But that's their thing. They don't know anything about me. Ricky Penzone said that he's going to put a lien on my mother's house, and that I'm 50 years old and I live in my mother's basement. That sounds like you, Ricky. When you're not harassing your neighbors whose house you well, I can't say that you're infatuated that it was burned down. Yeah, they don't know shit. My mother died 12 years ago. Put a lien on her house. Go ahead. Like, my mother died of cancer. I have cancer. These people are just real fucking douchebags. Just douchebags. So if you see somebody named Rip Ryda or JT at JAYTEE or Relk, RELK 1 spelled out, or Polyglocks in any chat, ban them. These guys are moderators for the shitbags. And they've been constantly harassing, constantly creating alt accounts and sending threats, and I'm surprised they didn't jump in here. Good job, moderators. Thank you all for joining. I got 2 videos coming out tomorrow, and 2 more videos for the rest of the week. And I'm working on a long form video of all the threats that Zebra's made towards me and all the things that they've said and screenshots and everything else. And let's just air it out there. I'm absolutely... I said that I supported transgender people, and all of a sudden I'm getting a sex change. This is the logic of these people. They don't know anything about me, so they're just grasping at straws and gaslighting. It's absolutely gaslighting. It's the very definition of gaslighting. Like, oh, we don't know anything about you, so we're just going to say that you live in your mother's basement. We're going to say that, that you support transgender people, so you're trans yourself, or you're trying to save up for a sex change. So pay it no mind. They're bullshit. They don't know nothing. You guys know more than they know, and you guys don't know nothing. And I also want to talk more about the robbery, but I'm waiting on that. Give it some time. I know a lot of people got some questions. So Zebra broke into your house? Yes, he broke into my house for his charger so he could raise donations for my bail for not having a bike light in Las Vegas that he orchestrated and set up, and still didn't get the video of the shot. It's a long story. 33 body cams. I got it all. I posted it before, nobody watched, so I just fucking deleted the videos. But that will come out. Trust me on that. I ain't wrong. I got these guys figured out, and I really appreciate you guys supporting the page and tuning in. So, all right, that's it. We're done. Thank you all. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Wolf Girl. Oh, Wolf Girl is here. Sorry, I didn't see you earlier. Bama Green Eyes, always. John Collins. Hazokai. Yes, I gotta say, how do you say that? Hazokia. Hozoka. Let's see, who else joined us? Let's see. Okay, we're going way back up. Poseidon 63, narcissist, plain and simple. Absolutely. Church a piece of shit, always a pleasure. Keith Newton, always a pleasure. John Collin, oh, I said you like 3 times, so okay, that's pretty much all that joined us. I appreciate you guys. Good night. Have a good night. Survivor's on.